Okay, welcome back everyone from our lovely lunch. Before we get started with our afternoon session, please allow me to introduce our afternoon session schedule. So first of all, we will continue with our 10 speakers, and after that, we will have a 20-minute snack break, which will be followed by the announcement of our winner.
I would also like to remind you that the popular vote QR code and the link is up on our Facebook page, 3MTCU, where you can go and vote for your favorite speaker. Both viewers at home and participants or audience who are here right now in this room can go ahead and visit our Facebook page, again, 3MTCU, and vote for your favorite speaker.
So now I think everyone's already excited to meet our next competitor. I would like to invite the first competitor in our afternoon session, Miss Parishya Thiralet Panit from Graduate School Chulalongkorn University. Please give her a big round of applause.
Oil contamination is the issue we must concern because it can cause some bad effect to us and our environment, right? For example, when the oils enter to the water source, what will happen? We lost our food, we lost our selling product, and we lost the benefit of using that area. So normally, what does people do to the oil spill? They use fires and they use chemicals. This method has been reported that cannot remove 100% of the oil from the environment and can cause another environmental problems too. So considering the environmental safety as a key, what can we do? For me, as my background is microbiology, so I'm familiar doing something using a small organism called bacteria. So letting the specialist bacteria do the cleaning job for us is my choice because it is safe and simple. However, if we put the bacteria directly into the contaminated site, they might shock and die from the changing of the environment. Instead of doing that, I will put the bacteria inside the small capsule. The capsule will act as a house for the bacteria and protect them from the changing of the environment. Unfortunately, sometimes the capsule might be too dense or too strong for the oil to get inside, and the bacteria cannot finish their job properly. To overcome this limitation, I choose the biochar. Biochar is a black charcoal-like material that when we mix it with the capsule, it allows the oil to get inside the capsule easier and the bacteria can do their job better. And also, the biochar can support the bacterial growth by giving them a place to live and grow. To sum up, in my study, first, I will try to get the specialist bacteria that can eat the oil. And then I will try to build the house of the bacteria using the capsule with a biochar, hoping that when I combine these two things together, I can get a practical, ready-to-use oil removal capsule, which I name it backpack. Thank you.
Well, I don't have anything to criticize. Seriously, I like everything you said. I like the structure. I like how you speak, how you communicate. There's one thing. I don't know. Is it going to be able to to improve it or not? But to make it a little bit more like verbal, to make it a little more natural, like you are talking to a person. Because sometimes I feel like there is an like invisible lines in front of your face, and you're reading something, like you're memorizing, and you try to recall. I kind of can feel that. So it would be better if you can make it a little more natural, but the rest is just good. 2 thumbs up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I like your presentation. Yep, your PowerPoint is good, and okay, and you have clear voice. Yep, and the speed is good. Okay, not too fast to communicate. Well, but about the way that you communicate is a little bit robotic. Okay, you have to make it more naturally. Okay, and sometimes you should avoid point your finger to the audience. I think that it happened unconsciously, but that's to prevent for the next time.
That's okay, we understand
Okay.
today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, I have a similar opinion. I think you are fluent in conveying the message, but maybe a bit too fluent. And so you didn't sound quite natural. It's like the messages were from your memorization, okay? But overall, you could convey the messages clearly, and I could understand them well. And yes, I like it when you ended your presentation with a climax. You just said backpack just once at the end. It's like a climax, okay? Yes, and yeah, so I would say your presentation was good, but it could have been more stimulating if you sounded more natural. Okay.
Thank you.
I like the way you present your story, but it would be better if you could add some keyword or something that the audience can follow you more than the picture is nice already, but if you could have some keyword or the processing a bit too easy for the audience to understand and to follow what you are talking about. And I love the way you kind of think that the audience might cannot catch up all the things you have already talked. So you just present that, okay, you sum up for the audience again that what you are going to, what you have already talked about it. So which is very good.
Thank you.
Okay, I like the presentation. I like the way you put it in perspective, like step by step. And most of the comments are given. I agree with them. If you practice on, being more natural, though, that will be very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Without further ado, let me introduce our next speaker, Ms. Pathanandan Sai from Techno Entrepreneurship and Innovation Management Program, Chulalongkorn University. Please give her a big round of applause.
What if headline news today with new cases, 50 new cases of the COVID-19 in Bangkok? With one common place, they are all of them are visited at the famous sushi in the hotel restaurant. So I guess you don't want to do my job. I'm a food safety consultant with 20-year experience and being advisor for 30 hotels in Bangkok. And my phone does not stop ringing and vibrating because all of them need urgent advice. And also they need help. What do we do? What do we do? Okay, there are 3 problems for me. First, for the confidentiality. Or they cannot share the information and the business has a secret. Okay. Second, human capital. For the human capital, my team members, we have 3 people, included me. And third, cost. My customer don't have enough budget for the urgent service, 500 baht per hour. At least, nobody works for free. And I want to retain my customer, also my business. So, how do I do? as part of my PhD thesis. And this is the innovation in service theory for integrating two things. One, that is food safety professional, and two, that is digital platform or innovation, information technology platform, right? So there are something that we would like to create. With algorithm design, we call this is a Kunma chatbot. Let me introduce Kunma chatbot. Kunma is mother in Thai, right? Okay, so she is always ready to prepare you for a war. And she is talking like a human, not a professor. With the Kunma chatbot, she can help you for preparing everything, like to cater the unique each of children. And also, she like to talk with you like the conversation. I believe that Kunma in the future will creating the big data for next 10 years. And also, I strongly believe that this is the very, very comfortable for everyone, especially for the food service business. I strongly believe that Kunma will help you one chat at a time. Let's keep food safe on your own. Thank you.
It's okay. It happens. It happened with me one time.
Really, thank you.
It's okay. It's normal. Hey, but very good on your time usage. It's exactly 3. So may I clarify it a little bit? So it's actually a chatbot for food safety.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that means people can contact to this chatbot via what channel is that?
Exactly.
Like Messenger, Facebook Messenger.
Yes,
or,
that is
or,
an
or
application.
Lines or.
They are live. She are live. She can talk with you like a people or human, not a professor.
Okay.
So when you have any problems, you talk with you talk with her in any time, any places, in every way.
All right. So regardless of, actually, along the presentation, you have made, quite a lot of mistakes and errors and in grammars and everything. But, I don't care about that since.
Thank you.
Since I like the presentation, and you actually have pulled one point, which is your domain knowledge reference. That makes a little more interesting in that as well. I think that's a good point. But anyway, if you want to go further and try to reduce the errors, along the presentation lines, it would be better, a lot better. Thank you so much.
Okay. Your topic is very up to date. Yes, and about your presentation, I think that your voice is a little bit monotone. Okay, so if you put some stress in some keywords, and it will increase the emotion of the audience. Well, apart from that, look at your presentation. I think that you have just only one slide, and everything in that slide should be readable. Yeah. For example, I'm not sure, is that the conceptual framework or something?
That's right. This is my conceptual framework for 2 things that I explained to you for the food safety professional and technological.
Okay, good. But the font is too small.
All right.
Yep.
I think you can see. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say I like your presentation.
ขอบคุณ
Because
ค่ะ
I think the attractive issue is you sounded natural. Natural, that's the key word. You had a nice introduction which led to the problem. And I think you could engage my attention throughout the presentation. Although, as Ajahn said, there were some flaws, but because of your naturalness, that could compensate for the other things.
Thank you very much.
So overall, I think you could capture the attention very well.
Did you already launch your innovation already? That's the number you wrote over there is already used by the customer?
Oh, this is ongoing. This is ongoing creating for the future, but it's not yet. It's not ready yet because I'm going to graduate it this semester.
Because I thought that you have already tried and you have already had a customer. No.
It haven't happened yet because we are expected. This is a forecast in the market share with the statistic from the national that part of my research.
Okay.
It could be happen if I can do that.
Okay. So I love your story because it's quite updated.
Thank you.
With your technology right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and I think it would be more better if you have time to keep practicing the way you present, okay, and you can get more engagement.
Right. Thank you.
To me, it seems that you are quite excited. I
Yes.
feel so. The way you presented, it's kind of a hurry. Although the content is it's straightforward, but that's why some people say it doesn't really come naturally. Although the accent is another story. It's had nothing to do with the content, but you seem to be tense, and then it's reflect because the feeling of the application you try to develop, you try to say this is คุณแม่
Yes.
right? But that emotion doesn't show up. You know, it goes opposite to the way you present it. You don't understand what I'm trying to say?
I can see that.
You're trying to say people will feel comfortable talking to these applications, whatever, but then
Instead I look
the way you present it, it's like you stressful mom,
Very much.
not a relaxed one. So it's emotionally, it doesn't go. That's how I feel. I don't want to comment on the details because it's straightforward, understandable, but the emotion.
Yes.
And because if you try to convince people to use this kind of applications, they have to be relaxed first, right? Because they want to feel like they don't talk to the อาจารย์ professor,
Right.
right?
That is my objective.
That's your message you want to get across. But then the way you present it goes opposite. So that's why I think practicing will be helpful.
Thank you very much for your suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you
ค่ะ
very much for your interesting thesis presentation. And now it is time for our next speaker. We have Miss Putita Ketsi Pongsa from the Faculty of Engineering, Suranari University of Technology. Please give her a big round of applause.
When we think about membrane, we often think about thin film or porous film that is used in the separations or filtrations applications. But do you know about smart membrane? A membrane is being smart because it's capable of responding to external stimuli such as temperature, pH, or light. So, what happens when the smart membrane gets stimulated? It significantly changes in its structure and causing the membrane to coat and open. So we can use this as a mechanism for getting application. Then, how can we make a membrane smart? We can make a normal membrane smart by attach smart polymer chain onto the membrane surface. This process also known as grafting. In our thesis, nylon 6 is used as a substrate and thermoresponsive polyisopropyl-acrylamide or polynephrine is used as a smart polymer. But the problem is conventional grafting methods is time-consuming and use a lot of chemical. We think a smart membrane should also come from a smart process. So we came up with a novel technique which uses argon plasma treatment to generate peroxide group on the surface. And microwave heating is used to decompose the peroxide group to give free radical on the surface. Now, the nylon monomer can graft and polymerize. Optimum conditions give good grafting yield. We can use this smart membrane in oil-water separations with a very high efficiency of 99.7%. This smart membrane can also be used in thermoresponsive water filtrations. We can coat the gate by controlling the temperature to lower than 32 degrees Celsius, which is the lower critical solution temperature of polyNEPAM. To open the gate is very easy. Just turn the heat up. Not only that, the open coat getting switch is reversible and repeatable. We have switched the temperature for more than 10 cycles and get a constant thermoresponsive performance for every single cycle. In short, we have come up with a novel technique to make a smart membrane that can be used in various applications. This grafting technique can reduce amount of chemical use and reduce grafting time from almost 4 hours to 12 minutes. Now, we can say that smart membrane can really be made smart and green. Thank you.
All right. I understand your structure. I understand what you're trying to say, but I just don't understand the technical terms that you are trying to communicate with us. Well, I would say that the metaphor might be a good way for you to try to use it in order to communicate with the people, the people like me who doesn't have a domain knowledge just like what you have right now. It might be a good way, so try that and try to reduce those jargons. Then that will be it, but the rest is just fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Your presentation is quite far from my expertise, yeah, but your dynamic of communication is like make me feel comfortable to listen. Okay, so I would like to recommend you about the locative gesture. When you use 1, 2, 3, and so on, you should control your muscle to present. Otherwise, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, so it's not communicate, okay? Yeah, so you have to you control your muscle when you use your locative gesture. And another thing is, if you can avoid your terminology, it will help us to understand what more easily. Thank you.
What I remember right now is just turn the heat on. That's what I still remember, but that's it.
Similar to the two judges, I think your strength is fluency in your communication, and I felt comfortable as well, although I didn't quite get the messages. As I said this morning, a good thesis writing or presentation is to make everyone be able to understand it. So you should try to modify or use other terms, not just all these technical terms, which could make people scared a bit.
You understand your work pretty well, but it would be nice if you could deliver the simply words to the audience, and the impact or the application that the people can get from your smart membrane. So you said it can be used in many kind of area, right? So, but I haven't seen what the application that can be used from your smart membrane. So it would be nice that you can deliver that to the audience as well.
You have a good skill of presentation in terms of scientific point, but the presentation is too far technical, in my opinion. And actually, in the morning, I already gave my opinion on that, because this is very scientific work, right? So in order to get in touch with people, you have to put in a human aspect. And a human aspect, as the previous judge said, it's applications. So in order to reflect the term smart, you have to make sure they understand why the smart material has any impact on them. in order to get engaged, right? I mean, the smart term is going everywhere for the material area, but then people don't understand what smart making any benefit on me. So in order to give too much detail on scientific part, and people usually don't care how you prepare it. They do care what's going to be the output or outcome of what you've done. So you better, reduce the scientific part and then add up the application as the previous judge suggests. And then with your skill of presentation, I'm sure your pitching will be increased in the quality in the future because you already have a personality of a person who can give a presentation, a good presentation. It's just the content that you have to get a good balance. Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was a very well explained presentation. Next, I would like to invite our next speaker, Ms. Latana Poongkasem from Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts,ศรีนครินทร์วิโรจน์ University. Please give her a big round of applause.
So I think we have some technical difficulties. So we would like to move on to our next competitor first. Now I would like to invite Mr. Raymond Palayan from the Graduate School, King Mongkut University Technology, Thonburi, up onto the stage. Please give him a big round of applause.
One ultimate goal of religion is to promote the value and purpose of life in society. It aims to educate individuals on how to be mentally and emotionally healthy through its religious teachings. However, some religious groups started beneficially and became dangerous to their members in the long run. These religious groups are the destructive cults, where leaders lead their followers to death, such as People's Temple, led by Jim Jones, who convinced his followers to commit mass suicide in 1978 by cyanide poisoning, and Heaven's Gate, led by Marshall Applewhite, who convinced his followers to commit mass suicide in 1997 by taking medication. This research breaks new ground by examining the patterns of linguistic features or the meaningful words in the sermons of destructive cults, which is not the focus of the previous studies. The key linguistic features are useful to describe the contents and communication styles of their sermons, which characterize the language of destructive cults. To find the patterns of linguistic features, the sermons of People's Temple and Heaven's Gate in the period leading to mass suicide were compared to the sermons of constructive or mainstream religious groups. In this study, two keenness methods and log likelihood as the probability statistic were used to describe objectively the language of destructive cults. First, keyword analysis that identifies the pattern of individual words characterizing the contents and communication styles of the sermons. And second, key semantic tag analysis that identifies the pattern of meaningful groups of words in the sermons, which increase the validity and reliability of the overall results. The language of destructive cults based on their sermons upholds extreme, non-religious philosophies which are not the language of mainstream religious groups. For People's Temple, most words in the sermons focus on political philosophies and social issues which allow the group to think of mass suicide as a revolutionary act. For heaven's gate, most words in the sermons reinterpret the concepts of God and kingdom in heaven from a science fiction perspective, which allow the group to view mass suicide as a way to reach eternal life in outer space. In addition, the communication styles of destructive cults tend to separate the members from wider society with the aim of controlling their actions. I hope that this study provides an early warning system for identifying the destructive activities of cults before they happen.
I'm not going to say you are confident. I think you are comfortable on the stage. This is like your home. Okay. You have a good structure. I can follow easily, and I was expecting some kind of result, some kind of, we know the set of words that they're going to use. That they're going to use to, I don't know, separate people from the society, destroy the world, or anything like that. But it would be better for me. I don't know, not for the others, but it would be better for me if you can suggest a little bit more of how we're going to take these words into the next stage. Okay. Just like what you said, you were going to prevent something from happening, right? What are those things, and how you're going to do it? It would be, useful. Thank you.
Okay. Your English is fluent, and of course, you have like a powerful voice to communicate. Well, as the Kun Priyapong said earlier, if you add up some recommendations, it will decrease your presentation not much too informative. Okay, now we know a lot about you, add up a lot of information, but we need some like the sum up of your presentation, that what is gonna useful for the us or the society. Thank you.
Yes, I think you have an attractive voice and tone which you could capture the audience attention. Overall, I like your presentation, and I could easily follow the content of your presentation, although the photos look quite scary to me. Okay, but they're from the truth. Okay, good organization, good body language. Okay, and you look natural. Okay, and yes, overall, I like it. Okay, thank you.
He has what we call opera voice.
Yes, I agree that you kind of have the voice that would like the audience to follow you, and you get more engagement by the voice. But yeah, for the application or the result right after you have done this, so we would like to know more what the impact that could happen for our society. Yes, I do agree with the two gestures. Okay, thank you.
You can sing a Lion King very well, I think. Very powerful voice. Yeah, and you have advantages of that, the characters and the voice and everything. And very eye-opening presentation on the topics. It's really totally beyond my expectation for people who know only science. But the slide is very emotional. And I think it really depends on the direction you want to take. After getting the information, like all the just said, that what direction you want to comprehend after getting the information, I think that's also has an impact on what you're going to put on slides, right? So it depends whether you want people to feel sad, or you want people to feel happy, or you want people to feel helpful. That's probably helps on arranging more on the slides, for my opinion. But overall, very impactful presentation, right?
May I say something before I get off from the
Right.
stage? Thank you very much for those comments, and I would like to share my feeling about this study. To be here on stage is a great success already for me, because when I did this study, it's like it's very difficult to understand the language of these destructive cults or cults. Although I was not born in their times, but I could feel how those people, died on the hands of these cults, these groups. And you are accurate. You are correct in your point, sir, that these are the indicators. These are very useful to test, to examine nowadays the existing cults in the world, if they have destructive characteristics, something like that.
It's a hard version of life coach, maybe, right? It's the word that people going around right now. So this remind me of what's going on in our world, that why the life coach career happened, and this is the bad part of that life coach thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
May I ask you some questions? This out of my interest as well, because I'm also in linguistics. Is this a PhD or MA?
PhD in applied linguistics.
And is it going to be published? You're going to have a paper published?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I think this contribute a lot in that, as you said in the end, that human beings should not follow this kind of history, right? I mean, your work could contribute a lot. Because today we have like many negative examples.
Many cults around the world, especially in Philippines, Tamakai in Thailand.
Okay.
I'm sorry to mention.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
It's okay. I think I need to add something up. We still have a lot of cults these days. I'm not going to mention what are they, but try to study a little bit further into social sentimental analysis. It's another branch of you are researching on words, and you're giving like positive or negative sentimental to words, to set of words, and then it will interpret into something, and this will be able, you will eventually be able to prevent something from happening. So this is called social sentimental analysis.
Okay.
Try to look on those subjects and try to study more on that. It will be useful for you for the next stage of your logic in your research. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very eye-opening presentation indeed. Without further ado, I would like to invite our next speaker, Ms. Sarah Sherburne from Graduate School, King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Please give her a big round of applause.
If I ask you to picture Thailand's wildlife, what is it that you see? Maybe a fierce predator like the tiger, or a charismatic animal that we all know and love like the elephant, or perhaps a clever animal like the monkey. What if I told you there was another fierce, clever, and very charismatic animal that is just as much a part of Thailand's wild landscape, but we know so little about it, it might as well be a stranger here? The Javian mongoose is native to Thailand, but we know almost nothing about its population or what it requires for its habitat. For my research, you may be asking, okay, I can see that you love this animal, I can see that this animal means a lot to you, but why should I love this animal? Why should it matter to me? Well, the answer lies immediately in the mongoose's diet. The mongoose eats animals that you may not want as a neighbor, such as insects, rodents, and venomous snakes. And without the controlling influence of the mongoose, the population of these animals can grow and invade human-dominated areas, such as villages, or affect plant life, such as our crops. So the mongoose is really a 3-in-1 pest control system. But we know so little about it that its population could be declining or it could become endangered, and we wouldn't even realize it until it was too late. So for my thesis, I am using a technology called radiotelemetry, where I catch the mongoose and I attach a collar to it that emits a signal. And every day I go out and I walk through the woods for kilometers and kilometers, and I find exactly where the mongoose is, and I pinpoint its location. Then I take down data on its habitat, how far it's moved, and its behavior. And I use that data to make a map of the mongoose's movements. Now, not only will I be looking into where the mongoose chooses to go, I'll also be examining its behavioral choices by collecting samples of its prey from across its home and comparing the density of its food to where it chooses to go. And that way I'll know just not only where the mongoose goes, but also why it goes there. I already have 3 mongoose. This is my little female right here. And I've already learned so much about their behavior, how social they are, where they go to hide from predators, where they go at night to sleep, where they go to get food. So I'm making the first picture of the mongoose's habitat and needs in Thailand. And I really hope by the end of my thesis, when people picture Thailand's wildlife, they'll picture fierce tigers and they'll look at charismatic elephants, but a tiny part of them will remember the adorable little mongoose. Thank you.
So I don't know that I missed that or not, but how many of them do we have remain in Thailand? How many of the mongoose?
That's exactly the problem. We don't know. There's been no studies.
I see. Okay, I thought you were gonna, tell us by the end.
No,
because since you already have a tested device and you study the data, right? So you still don't know that. Okay.
I'm the first study to look at them in their native home range here. So I'm really finding out everything that we know so far as I go.
Right. They're quite cute, huh?
Yeah,
In
I
Thai
think
we
so.
call pangkorn.
I love them very much.
Yeah, they're cute. Thank you. That's all. I just want to know. That's all. But the rest is just fine. You may increase a little bit of your body gesture a little bit more, and more like engaging into people a little bit more, because you still stand like this a little. It's a little robotic, but overall it's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Your presentation is quite interesting. Yes, and the way you convey the message is a little bit too systematic. Okay. You have good introduction. Okay, for your research, and at the end, the conclusion. If you add up that what you learned from your result, or how it's useful for us or for the policy maker or so on, and it's quite more interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, similar to Ajahn. I like the way you introduced your research. Okay, you began with a question to the audience. Okay, and I think you could convey the content in a comprehensible manner throughout the presentation, but although a bit too stiff, not a bit. Okay? You could use more body language to show some relaxation. And yes, the main thing is I would like to know how would the results of your research help with the Javan mongoose. That's the main thing that your work will contribute to, right? Thank you.
Yeah, I love the way you present, but somehow you might have the script in your mind, but you lost it somehow, and you try to think about it at the beginning, but later on you can cope with it. And the content, you said there are 3 things about these animals, right? So it would be better if you could say, okay, 1 is, 2 is, 3 is, apart from you say overall, and then you say that's the 3 things that you have already mentioned. So it's easier to understand step by step. Okay, so you could say like what the benefit for the first, the second, and the third, something like that, and you say the benefit right after.
I see.
Okay. So apart from that, it's great.
Thank you.
The storytelling part is nice, with beginning with the questions and stuff. Try to be a little bit, you done on emotional part, that's okay. It's just a little skip that you must be excited and just practice to be more natural, I think. That'll be helpful and add up. Because many speakers talk about biodiversity and stuff, and usually it's informative study. So if to wrap up everything, most people want to see what's the outcome or output. So I think, and that's general. Otherwise, it's just a study, right? So if you do things with engineering or something, you see the product, then people can get it right away. But if something like this kind of research studies with doing with biodiversity and stuff, then you have to wrap up, like most judges suggest. But otherwise, it's emotional. It's caught attention. Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sarah Sherburne. It was a very, very interesting presentation. And now for our next speaker, I would like to invite Ms. Siriwan Jamjaran Witiyakun from the Department of Nutrition and Dietetics, Faculty of Aligned Health Sciences, Chulalongkorn University, up onto the stage. Please give her a big round of applause.
Do you enjoy every dish of your meal? Have you ever left over your food? Do you know that food waste is the global issue? Nowadays, 1/3 of all food produced for human consumption is waste in each year. This waste has a huge impact on environment pollution. It always ends up in landfills and polluting soil, air, and water. Fruit is one type of the food that have the highest waste. But the interesting point is, fruit byproducts are beneficial source of beneficial compounds such as phytochemicals that act as antioxidants, reduce the free radical out of our body, and dietary fiber, which is food for the good bacteria in our gut. In Thailand, one of the foods that popular for consumption is dragon fruit. Due to its beautiful appearance and its taste, it also generates the byproduct, which is dragon fruit peel or DFP, around 22% of their total weight. The previous data show that this peel comprised of dietary fiber, especially soluble dietary fiber, pectin, and phytochemicals like beta-cyanine and phenolic compounds that have a potential application as a new ingredient in food. So I think it's a good idea to study the characteristics and functional properties of dragon fruit peel. And the findings show that the dragon fruit peel has antioxidant activity, gelling and water binding abilities. This peel could bind with bile acids and reduce the cholesterol micelle formation in laboratory analysis. It also reduces the end product from fat digestion and carbohydrate digestion as well. From this point, the dragon fruit peel has nutritional and functional properties, so I think it may present a positive effect when applying to animal model and food application. Therefore, I plan to study the effect of dragon fruit peel on gut microbiota system in high fructose-induced obese rat. That GLP may improve the gut inflammation and improve the gut microbiota diversity. And in the food application, the dragon fruit peel will be fortified into food product to develop the food that offer health benefit beyond their nutrition value, for being an alternative food choice for consumer in the future, while added the value of food waste. Thank you.
I've got 3 comments. Spice it up, stress the point, leave the gap. If you can do these 3 things, you are one of the best competitors here. But these 3 things, all right? Spice it up, that means, when you say that 1/3 of the world's food is wasted. 1/3 of the world's food is wasted. This is gonna make a lot of difference, if you can stress the point out, if you can spice it up a little bit more, leave the gap. I feel a little tired, once when I'm listening to you, it's on and on and on. You don't give me a break to think. Just a little small break, like 1 second or half a sec would be better, But the rest is, I understand it all, like the structure, like everything. Thank you.
Yep. About your presentation, first I feel comfortable to listen because of your voice, your dynamic that you present is quite good. Okay, but your data is too much data, too informative. So you have to arrange what you should to convey to us that who is not in your field. Okay, and another thing is that back to the start of your presentation, you hold your microphone with two hands like this. Yeah, okay. It's obstruct you to use your body language to communicate with others. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, I feel that I could follow your presentation, although the content is a bit overwhelmed. Okay, overwhelmed. And you could reduce some technical things to accommodate more people. Okay, you had a good start with some questions to the audience, and you were fluent in the content, although I could see that you try to get the content out of your memory sometimes. Okay, and you could have made your presentations more stimulating because it's quite monotonous and overwhelming. And also you could practice more on some grammar points and some pronunciations. That could be practiced. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think because your slide is easy to follow as in a scientific way, but for the 3 minutes pitching, you have to, because I understand that you have many objectives in your study. So if you can make just only one that you want to point it out and deliver to the audience, for example, like you are trying to say that you can make money from the waste, for example. So that's the value of your work, but you didn't point that out and deliver to the audience. So if you could point that out, so it can make the impact to your study more. Okay.
I think you have benefit of your cheerful face. That's why you attractive in terms of people want to listen to you already. So, as I said, the same for all scientific presentation. It's too much detail, and pictures speaks more than words. If it's you are my students, this slide does not pass because you have too many words on slides, right? And pitching is the way people come to listen to what you say. They do not come to read your slides. So putting things in perspective, putting infographic will be more useful. Right? So I think it's a matter of practice. I mean, you have although the language have to be improved, but your characteristic it's something already show up that you can get it done better. So just be less scientific, although your work is scientific. And if you've seen previous presenters, you don't need to put your thesis title as the attention of the audience. You can put anything on there, and they get your message across. So I've seen many speakers put the title, the whole title. It's not important. The matter is what you speak. Right? So otherwise you don't call 3-minute pitching. So, but overall, I mean, you have room to improve yourself. So keep practice. Right.
Thank you very much. Please give her a big round of applause. And for now, I would like to invite Ms. Tanya Matsale, Faculty of Physical Therapy, Department of Physical Therapy, Sri Nakarin Virod University, up onto the stage. Please give her a big round of applause.
I think everyone here has ever experienced neck pain before, right? But I bet most of you have never concerned that your postural balance can be gradually disturbed by neck pain. You may have a question like, why do I feel nothing about my balance problem? The answer is because you are young. Every system in your body is in good status, so the problem cannot affect you to the point that you can feel it. But it may be contrast when you are aging, because every system in your body will be decay. Furthermore, if you have the problem with your muscle or your joints that we call musculoskeletal problem, this will be affect your balance for sure, because it is a part of balance control system. Neck pain is also one of the most common problems that found in elders. It can increase risk of falls. And you know what? Falls are a main cause of morbidity and disability in elders. Every 20 minutes, an elder dies from fall-related injuries. That's why fall prevention is one of my challenges as a physical therapist. But first of all, I need to figure out what is the problem that is the main problem disturb balance in elders with chronic neck pain. So elders with and without chronic neck pain have been recruited to my study. All of them perform the clinical balance test that cover all of the balance components. The preliminary data show a lot of body sway in elders with chronic neck pain when they perform the balance test that they need to stand still with eye closed on soft surface condition. What is the mechanism behind this? Normally, we control our balance during activity by using a lot of input signal. The input signal are from our eyes, inner ears, and the movement from our bones and our joint or our muscles. All of signal will be integrated here at our neck level and then transferred to our brain. If one of these signals are decreased, the process at the neck level will be integrated to rely more on other signals. But it fails in elders with chronic neck pain because there are a lot of problems at their neck. Even if this study is still ongoing, but lack of integrating proper signal for a long time, it seems to be the main problem that disturbs the balance in elders with chronic neck pain. So, if you are facing the neck problem, it's better to fix it now. Thank you.
Two comments. Well, actually three. Try to move your mic a little closer to your mouth. That's the first thing. It will make the voice clearer. Okay, that's the first tactic. The second thing is don't be sorry. Don't say sorry. It will waste your time. Okay. Third thing is, if I were you, I don't know. This is just my personal comment. Okay, you don't have to follow me, but I would start with every 10 minutes. An elder dies from fall-related injury. I will start from that. It's going to catch a lot of attention. And see, people are mumbling right now. See, so I will start from that, and then you can follow up with your excitement or whatever data you have. All right, that would be my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your presentation. According to your topic, it's about the human body, right?
Yes.
So if you can use your body as the medium to present, okay, it will help more useful, okay? And yep, another thing is about the way that you hold the microphone, as he mentioned earlier. Yep, I agree with you. Yeah. Okay, and the last thing is about some pronunciation. Yes, if you keep practicing, it will be more communicate.
Thank you.
Effectively.
Well, I think the strength of your presentation is your fluency in the content. Although I agree, yes, there were some grammatical mistakes and also some problems with pronunciation, but that could be practiced, okay? And yeah, I could understand the messages you try to convey clearly. One thing is please don't, you switched between the two slides, and that made me a bit tired in trying to follow you. Okay, overall, it's quite good.
Thank you.
You made me feel like in the classroom or something, like conference or the meeting that you are trying to give the information to the patient or something like that. So it would be nice if you could make more like attractive by using the statistical that you have, like 20 minutes, like the judge mentioned earlier. So that would be great, and you could get more engagement from the audience regarding the 3 minutes pitching.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's, the first thing I would like to comment is the way you hold your microphone is too far. So that's why your voice it's not consistent, right? And also, I think you get the benefit of having a topic related to health because you can use breath to caught attention. And as I think I read all the professional judge mind that they want you to caught attention by giving breath. If it's breath, then people are concerned, right? Then they want to see what's the solution. Then what's next? How? What you have done? And then at the end you wrap up that you're going to give them the solution. So I think you get the benefit of that. You have to take advantage more, and the slide has to be more meaningful. Although your slide overall looks nice and not too congested and everything, but it has to be meaningful too. So I think you have to begin with threat, and that will be helpful for you, for people to get engagement. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Another
much.
word is, if you want to sell the pain, sell the solution.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Next, I would like to invite our next speaker, Ms. Hera Sahul from Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University of Technology, Thonburi. Please give her a big round of applause.
How many of you knows how long can we live? You see, the old side of the lady? Just imagine you're getting older. Your hair starts turning gray. You start getting wrinkle. And worst of all, you start getting age-related diseases like Alzheimer's, diabetes, hypertension. And now, imagine that you've got some magical compound that not only can slow down your age, but also can protect you from age-related diseases. Amazing, isn't it? So this is what my thesis is all about. I am using a magical compound to test a model. Yes, a model, because we all know that a human being cannot serve as an object for studies. So we need a model. And thanks to yeast, a eukaryotic model that shares many things in common with the human. So what is the problem? Why do we age? We all know what happens with us when we are under stress, right? We have utility bills, we have relationship issues, we have jobs, and all of that stress makes us work really slow. We cannot give our best, right? So exact same thing happens with the cells of our body. They feel stress too. And that stress comes from PM 2.5, from UV exposure, from smoking, and all of that stress create free radicals in our body. They are very reactive molecules because they have an incomplete pair of electrons in their outermost shell. So what do? To complete their own pair, they try to steal that electron from the healthy atoms of the body, making them oxidant too. So how can we get rid of them? Well, if the destructive process is oxidation, then the answer is antioxidation, which is achieved by antioxidant, what I'm calling as a magical compound. So they are very generous molecule because they donate their own electron to free radical in order to protect our healthy atoms of the body. So the next thing is, where can we get them? Well, I extracted my magical compound using red rice because they contain a lot of antioxidants. So basically what I did is I treated a normal yeast whose lifespan is about 1 week or 2. But I treated yeast with the extract of red rice and found that the lifespan extension up to 1 month of the yeast. And not only that, I treated yeast with different kinds of stresses like from acids and then found that the treatment with the red rice extract protected the yeast from the stress also. So ladies and gentlemen who wants to stay young, don't forget to increase the amount of red rice in your diet. Thank you.
Magical compound.
Yeah.
That is smart.
Thank you.
Is it just going to be a thesis, or you really want to do it and manufacture it, sell it?
Sorry?
Are you really going to sell it? Make it and sell
hopefully
it? The
in
magical
future.
compound?
Hopefully in future.
Okay. Sound like an SK2. All right, yeah. Well, the story is very similar, but anyway, don't take me wrong. It's not negative. It's positive. All right. I like your metaphor. By the way, magical compound. It makes a person like me understand a lot better and easy to follow. I like your excitement. I know deep down inside you are really excited, but it's a good excitement. All right, so keep it up. Keep smiling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I like your slides. Yep. Your comparative picture support your content that you present. Okay. But I feel a little bit tired. Yeah. While listening your presentation. Okay. And another thing is, if you stand stably, it will be help us to feel that you're confident about what you are going to present. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think your presentation is a good example of jargon-free presentation. I could see that the title of your thesis consists of some technical terms, but you did not use them. Instead, you use magical compound, which is accessible to everyone, okay? And that made me be able to follow your messages very easily, okay? I think your presentations were lively, natural, and fluent. The slide is attractive, okay? And yes, the presentation could engage my attention very well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you make me feel like I should have eaten red rice for the
Yeah.
lunch. So, yeah, it's nice presentation the way you present and your storytelling, but I feel feel kind of tired when I listen to you because you just I don't know, because you might exciting and you kind of a bit rush or somehow. And the way you hold your microphone is too close that I can hear your exhale. So please focus on the distance of the microphone as well. Okay.
All right, I enjoy your presentation and keep smiling. Although you get, stop a little bit, but that must be from your excitement. And if you tone down your excitement, I'm sure you'll have everything better. And you are good, as the third judge said, you're a good example of that terms. You make things, make scientific work into, simple words. And it's good advertisement.
Thank you.
And
Because
can't wait to get the product.
Sorry.
Right. All right.
It's completely scientific, and I know how I found the terms to make it so simplified to make the people understand my topic. Otherwise, it's really scientific.
Nice. I like that. Right. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And now for our next speaker, we have Ms. Ratana Poonkasem from the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts, Sinakarin Virod University. Please give her a big round of applause.
I used to say that I hate sciences and mathematics, but surprisingly, now I am a teacher in a science high school. I teach performing arts to students who are gifted in STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, there is another model called STEAM. That A is arts. So, my PhD research focuses on STEAM. The aim is to help develop a more comprehensive and universally accepted education model. I think of how we can prepare my students for their learning, working, and living their life by using STEAM approach. Today, there are a total of 14 science schools in Thailand. I had interviewed some students and teachers from these schools and found that one of the problems in arts curriculum was the limited learning time. A grade 12 student once said that the limited time given to study arts blocks her creativity. That had a strong impact on me. So I designed a learning model by incorporating performing arts in STEM. STEAM is an integrated learning approach which requires an intentional connection. And I repeat, an intentional connection between sciences and arts. For example, students can integrate the relation between Wong in Thai dance and antagonistic movement in biology subject, which is about the movement of muscle. In quietly, collaboration, and an emphasis on process-based learning are the heart of STEAM approach. This model includes 6 steps. They are finding a problem, discovering and brainstorming for some solution, making a plan, creating something, testing it, improving or redesigning, and finally, presenting. Students can create some innovations or products using STEAM thinking process. And because they are gifted, they have the potential to create something valuable for the world. Through STEAM, these students can go beyond the expectation and become well-rounded innovators and learners of the 21st century. Thank you.
So you're finding the STEAM is better than the STEM. Is that right?
No, I don't say that.
Okay, so...
Yeah, this is my way.
Okay.
This is my way.
All right, I see. Okay, I might miss the point a little bit now, just to clarify it. Yeah, the rest is, I like it. I like the way you present. I like the structure of it. But I would like to know more a little bit about the STEAM, later, like the result of it, like, once when you have performed it, what's going to be the result of, I don't know, of this, later on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, it's quite interesting. First of all, if you define the performing arts clearly, it will help us to understand what is the between the arts that you mentioned in your thesis. Okay, and I'm not sure that if you can present deeply or profoundly on the process of blending arts into the course or into the curriculum or the course outline, okay, it will be helpful for us to see how the arts works in your process of teaching.
Thank you.
Overall, I could say I like your presentation a lot. I think you had a nice pace, a nice interval. You did not rush, okay? So you gave time for the audience to go along with your messages. There's a nice slide, it's clear. you had a nice emphasis on some keywords or some parts, okay? You said it natural, okay? And yeah, good organization. Although just one thing, in the end, you seem to end a bit too abruptly. And I couldn't follow that. Oh, that's the end. Okay, but overall, I was impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, your presentation quite impressed that you are trying to integrate the art with the science, but I would love to see what the results or the comments from the students right after you create this STEM. So I think you would have the results already, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So I have questions. This is the model that you're trying to develop, right? Hasn't been tested or anything yet, or?
Yeah, it's just planned, but still on the process.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very interesting. Yeah. I have the same comments as the third judge that you well prepare on the step that you present. It's all everything you have on slide is used, well planned it out. Maybe you're a little bit excited, so it decreases the natural way of presenting. But as a whole, it's very good. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Thank you.
And originally I thought you have a misspelling, so I tried to say, because people are familiar with STEM, right? So I suggest if you really want to focus on arts term, maybe you have to use a bigger alphabet or do something that make it people realize that this is not STEM, and art has to be stand out. So A should be bigger than other alphabet. That caught more attention. Yeah, but I liked it. I like the idea of the project too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Latana. Would you please give her another big round of applause? And as for our last speaker for this event, due to some personal problems, she is not currently in Thailand at the moment. However, we will proceed with this competition via Zoom as we have her online ready right now. As for the timing process, we will start timing from the very first word of her presentation, excluding her introduction. So let's see her online right now.
Hello, everyone.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Dianti Farhana. You can call me Hana. I am the master student from Mahidol University. So today I would like to talk about regional planning for future.
You can start with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, could you see my slide? Where do you live? I'm sure you live in a city, most of you. So there are 3 idiots or genius in my pictures. Why they are waiting to the city to come to them rather than they just go to the city, taking a bus. They know the city is getting bigger. This phenomena we call as urban expansion or city expansion. So when the number of the population is getting higher, the city will getting bigger. Makes sense. Is that dangerous? No, it's not dangerous if you can manage it as good as possible. But unfortunately, most of the city in this world fail to manage it. And that's my thesis. There are 2 solutions of this problem. First, we search which one the source of the city expansion. Like we know, Wuhan is the source of a coronavirus. Is that Bangkok is the source of the city expansion? No, it's not longer Bangkok. It's Salaya, for example. Second, we predict which area that will become increased in the future, which one that will become popular. These 2 can we get by seeing the significantly changes area from the previous year, learning from history. Then I use SAT scan. That's an applications of medical student use for disease birth detections. Evidently, it could be used for city expansion detections as well. So these applications only needed 2 kind of data. The first is urban area per regency per year and locations data. the oldest data become a control, and the newest data become a case. How it works? Just simple, compare them. Where we can get this data? It's easy, by using satellite, remote sensing. It's like taking a photograph of your Earth surface conditions and put in the SAT scan. That's all. So cities need their real projections for better city planning, suitable investment and development, not too much development, but a healthy development, and prevent us from environmental disasters and problems like floods, traffic, air pollution, and many else. So do not pretend don't know, waiting to the city getting bigger, bring us a lot of problems, but let's make every city become a detective for its own future urban expansion. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think you could convey your messages very well, although it's a shame that we could not see you when you presented. Well,
Sorry.
due to a long distance presentation, but that's fine. In my opinion, your tone could capture my attention very well. Okay? It sounded stimulating, okay, with some emphasis on some significant points. Well, the last thing is you use a cartoon picture in your slide, right? There's a cartoon. You should have given a reference for it. Right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay. About your presentation, I'm sorry that we cannot see your expression and of course your body language as well. According to your presentation, you have clear voice, yep, and the dynamic is quite good, okay. But you have 40 seconds left that you can add up more information about your research, okay? And about your PowerPoint presentation, I saw that you try to use the bold font to highlight about the keywords. That's good to make us can follow what you are saying about. Thank you.
I think the presentation is already okay. To me, I understand most of it. The structure is okay. There is one thing that I like the most is about your illustration on the presentation, the cartoon one. It makes me understand a lot better. It would be better if you have some other, information of your own finding of the thesis or something like that in order to proceed it a little bit further. It would be better. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I agree with the gesture. So I would like to see more the results right after you have already done in your study. So it would be great if you can see that data, okay?
The pictures in the right one is the result of my research.
Oh, that's already your results. Okay, okay.
Although it's more shift to scientific part, but then I get lost. Although you said you show the data, right? But then I get lost. What's the outcome? So I suggest similar to our judges' comments that you still have some time to spare. So giving a little more in details on what can be done after you get the information will be useful. But the dynamic of your voice, although you're far away, but we can feel that. Although we don't see your face while you're presenting, but your voice is very, can caught attention very well. Excitement, we can feel excitement and cheerfulness in your voice. So you have a benefit of that. So too bad that we can't see you in person. But then, as a whole, it's more like statistic studies, right? So I assume because I get lost. But then, explaining more in scientific part and the outcome and output, that'll be very useful.
Thank you very much. I guess give her a big round of applause. And that is it for our speakers today. And for now, I would again like to invite our lovely judges to go down to the third floor to talk about the scoring. And as for now, we will have a 20 minutes break. But before that, I would like to announce that the popular vote has officially closed as she finished her last speech. And we also have another announcement regarding sponsorship, right?
In addition to our prizes for today, there is also an additional thesis grant sponsored by Springer Nature for 500 euros. So this sponsorship is for the gold champion PhD winner, who is a Thai citizen. They will receive this amount of money, which is 500 euros from Springer Nature.
So soon we will know who will be our champions.
Yes, and unless if the gold champion from the PhD is not a Thai citizen, then if the silver champion is a Thai citizen and is also a PhD student, then they will receive that amount of money instead.
Yes, so we can have a 20 minutes break for now, and please be back around 3:15. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And now is the time that you have all been waiting for. I see that all your faces are very, very excited to see who the winner is for this evening and for this event. But before that, I would like to again tell you about the rewards of this event. Firstly, for our gold champion for PhD, they will receive 50,000 baht. And for our gold champion for master's degree and our silver champion will receive 50,000 baht and 35,000 baht respectively. As for our popular vote winner, who we have voted on the Facebook page throughout the whole day, they will receive 15,000 baht.
Right, and there are some changes from our sponsor just now, recently. Earlier we announced that it's only limited to Thai nationalities, right? But now they said they will give 700 euros to the gold PhD winner, regardless of nationalities. And for the master gold winner, you will get 500 euros. And as for the silver gold, you will get 300 euros from Springer Nature. Mm-hmm. So are you excited to hear who our winner is?
Yes?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for Springer Nature for the sponsorship. But right now, we are ready to announce the winner of today's event. Let's start with the popular vote, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any sounds? Before the sound, let me invite our dean to come up on this. Sorry about that. Let me invite our dean up on the stage.
Mm-hmm. We would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Thamanun Nujak, our dean of our graduate school, up on stage. So please give him a big round of applause. So I think now we're ready, right?
Yes.
So for our popular vote,
Miss Ratana Poon Kasem from Faculty of Fine Applied Arts, Sri Nakarin Wilod University.
she She will receive the prize of 15,000 baht.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Congratulations.
Please step aside and wait. Okay, thank you. For our next champion, I will announce the silver champion, which goes to Miss Natharika Lautamtip, Faculty of Sciences, Chulalongkorn University. She will receive the prize of 35,000 baht and an addition of 300 euros from our sponsor, Springer Nature.
Thank you very much and congratulations. And next, for our gold champion for master's degree, Miss Hera Sahur from Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University.
She will receive the prize of 50,000 baht and will also receive the prize of 500 euros from our sponsor, which is Springer Nature. Thank you very much. And for our last prize, we have our gold champion for PhD, which goes to Mr. Matthew Crane from the Graduate School of King Mongkut University. He will be receiving the prize of 50,000 baht and will also receive sponsorship from Springer Nature, which is 700 euros. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to invite all of our winners for today to come up on the stage and take a group photo together.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all of our winners for today.
They did very well on their
Indeed.
thesis presentations. And for now, I would like to invite all our competitors one by one to come up on stage and receive certificate from our dean. So first, I would like to invite Mr. Nattapong Saipin, Graduate School National Institute of Development Administration, up on the stage. Please give him a big round of applause.
Next, Ms. Arunothai Singh Takel from Faculty of Nursing, Burapha University. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Ms. Farah Sahir Rajput from Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Ms. Huang Seung Tibik, Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University.
Next, Ms. Inish Silva from Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Ms. Kullanan Phu Prasit, Faculty of Engineering, Chulalongkorn University.
Mr. Matthew Crane, Graduate School from King Mongkut University.
Next, we have Ms. Nacha Ruamyad, Faculty of Agricultural, Natural Resources, and Environment. I would like to invite Ms. Natalika Lautamti, Faculty of Sciences, Chulalongkorn University. Ms. Nisakon Ampalop, Graduate School, Chulalongkorn University. Thank you very much. Next, we have Ms. Parichya Thiralert Panit, Graduate School, Chulalongkorn University.
Ms. Pathanandan Sai, Technopreneurship and Innovation Management Program, Chulalongkorn University.
Ms. Putita Ketsi Pongsa, Faculty of Engineering, Suranari University of Technology.
Ms. Suratana Poongkasem, Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts, Srinakarong Virod University.
Thank you very much. Next we have Mr. Raymond Palayan, Graduate School, King Mongkut University.
Thank you very much. Next, Ms. Sarah Sherburne from Graduate School, King Mongkut University.
Thank you. Now we have Ms. Siriwan Jamjaran Withyakun, Department of Nutrition and Dietetics, Faculty of Aligned Health Sciences, Chulalongkorn University.
Thank you very much. Next is Ms. Tanya Masale, Faculty of Physical Therapy, Srinakarong Virod University. Thank you very much. And lastly, Ms. Hera Sahul from Faculty of Science, King Mongkut University. Thank you very much to all of our competitors today. You have all did a very good on presenting your presentation. Now I would like to invite our judges one by one to receive the souvenir gift from our dean. Please join me in inviting our first judge, Mr. Pongpila Shawala Thawat, the advisory board of QQ Thailand Company. Next, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Warawi Howen from the Chemistry Department, Faculty of Science, Chulalongkorn University.
Please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Nattama Pongpairod from the English Department, Faculty of Arts, Chulalongkorn University. For our next judge, we have Dr. Thanasin Shutintharanon, acting of Academic Deputy Dean from the Faculty of Communication Arts, Chulalongkorn University. Thank you very much. And as for our last judge, please welcome Assistant Professor Sathaporn Ngam Ukhot from the Nutrition and Dietetic Department, Faculty of Aligned Health, Chulalongkorn University. Thank you very much. And for now, I would like everyone to come up on stage and take a group photo.
Both our judges and our competitors today, please bring your souvenir and also the certificate to take pictures up on the stage. For our winners for today, you can stand in front of the stage with the big sign because the sign is very big and it might yeah, right in front of the stage.
There are still some spaces on the right-hand side of the stage, so feel free to move over.
To the right-hand side of the stage, please.
Thank you very much, everyone. Everyone did a very good job once again.
Before you all leave, we also have a closing speech from our dean. I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Thamanun Nujak to come up to the podium and give his closing speech ceremony. Thank you.
Please be seated.
Okay, thank you very much for the commentator and congratulations for the champion. And also thank you for all of you to join the competition. and I hope you can get some experience and can improve your presentation skill. And I hope you can tell your younger friend and at the university to join us next year. And I thank you very much.
We also have a little more announcement about the Asia Pacific round of the 3MT competition. So for the 3MT final round for the Asia Pacific competition, it is announced that each university in Thailand will be able to send only one competitor to be the representative of their university to participate in the final round at the University of Queensland, Australia. But for this COVID-19 situation, the competition will be online instead. However, each university, regardless being the winner of this event or not, can send one representative for the university to come and compete online with the University of Queensland, Australia.
So for further information, you can go ahead and check the Facebook page, which is the University of Queensland, Australia 3MT.
And also on screen right now, we have the QR code for all of our judges and competitors and also audience, as well as the Facebook Live viewers right now, can go ahead and scan the QR code to evaluate our event today.
It will be very useful for us to improve the next 3MT event.
So that is it for our event today. Our event has come to an end. We will once again like to thank you, our judges, our speakers, and also our audience for this memorable event. Again, my name is Tanchanong Nipanon, a fourth-year student from the Faculty of Arts, MC of Jula, the fifth generation.
And my name is Vivi, fourth-year student from the Faculty of Arts, MC of Jula, the fifth generation from the International Division. And it is our honor to be here today, and thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. For our winners today, if you are a Thai citizen, please bring your ID card and bring it to our staff. Or if you are a foreigner, you could use your passport and please bring it to our staffs for further review. Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Have a safe trip home, everyone.
Have a very nice day. Thank you.